Good morning and welcome to another exciting episode of Day 4 with the man Frank SCALISH, who is now apparently a cryptocurrency expert.
Apparently.
Frank, thank you for all the hot tips and tactics on cryptocurrency that you've been sharing with your 4,000 plus loyal listeners for the majority of the morning.
Yeah, that was fun to wake up to. I got hacked on my Instagram, as anybody who's following me probably already knows. So don't send.
What was your initial reaction when you opened it up and you? What was it? Were you not able to get? I've always wanted to talk to someone who's actually gotten hacked to see like how it actually goes down.
Well, the truth of the matter is, my phone was blowing up before I even got out of bed this morning.
And you're like, boy, they are jacked for day 4, number 104.
Oh yeah, I was like, yeah, 104 is the number. And then and so then, of course everybody's like, your Instagram got hacked. My daughter texts me, she texts me from California at 2:00 in the morning, our time, but I wasn't on my phone at 2 a.m. So that was the first one I saw, and then they just started going all the way down the line.
I immediately unfriended and blocked you.
Way to go!
But you were actually trying to help someone out, and it ended up was a link that you clicked on. Long story short,
I'm 100% positive.
And then they got into it. So if you're listening to this and you're getting things from
me.
From Frank SCALISH, and they have to do with Bitcoin's cryptocurrency, or well, God knows what else they're going to get into.
Yeah, don't answer it.
Do not answer. Do not click on any links. Do not respond.
Nothing. And then I'm going to get back. I'm going to get the Instagram back. If I can't access my old account and get it back, I'll start a new one. So just FYI.
I mean, I guess that's good. You're doing something right if someone thinks it's valuable enough to hack you because you're an influencer, Frank.
Yeah, if these jackasses would just put their brains to good use in the real world, they could actually probably make something out of themselves. But
Frank SCALISH Jr., I told you not to click links in messages, Dad.
Yeah, I know. He yells at me all the time for everything.
I'm a very cautious link clicker.
Well, I answer all the guys that DM me and stuff, and this guy was playing me for a little while. So I realized what I was doing after I did it. I said, damn it. And I should have immediately went in and changed my password, but I don't think that fast when it comes to, computers and electronics. I'm kind of like, I don't want to say a dinosaur when it comes to this stuff, but a dinosaur, because I don't want to be bothered with all the little nonsense.
No, I hear you, but it's a good way to keep in track with the fans. All right. Something that is not little nonsense is some new colors that are available on lurenet.com in the paint shop. Have not talked about these lately.
No.
The first one I want to highlight is the Bandit 200 Old Light Splatter, which just happens to be very close to the color that I caught my 9-pounder on back in the Assumption Bass Club days on a Bandit 200.
And it might actually be. I don't know if it was a retro bring back or not.
I don't know either.
Let's take a peek at it.
There it is.
Ah, it is. Nice.
So they did away with that color?
Yes.
Why? That's like the standard Bandit 200 color.
There's a very similar color.
Okay.
It's very similar.
But I feel like that is the one that I caught the 9.4 on, except it had at the time when I caught it, it still had the Mustad triple grips on it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. I have a bunch with the triple grips on it.
Yep.
Actually.
So that was a color that was near and dear.
Dude, do you remember when the 200 Bandit came out, or were you too young?
When I started fishing the club in 1998, 1999, I'll be honest. These were the three things that were used: black glitter, black grape, red glitter, 6-inch Producto paddle tail on a Texas rig.
Yeah, yep.
A Bandit 100 or 200 in either that crawfish pattern or like it was like a muted shad pattern. It was like just black and gray.
Okay. So when I was fishing and the Bandits just came out, and it was root beer and root beer chartreuse were the money colors.
Okay.
And I remember there was a dude that used to fish Bassmasters. His name was Rufus, and Rufus turned me on to him, and he was throwing the red and black one, and I was throwing the root beer one, and we were on. Hold on a second. It'll come to me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe
in Ohio?
Tennessee. It was Tennessee.
Old Hickory?
No, I want to say Table Rock, but it wasn't. It's not Table Rock. Okay. I can't. It's the Tennessee River chain.
Chickamauga?
No, keep going.
Nickajack?
No, more popular than that.
Gunnersville?
They just had a tournament on the damn thing.
Wheeler?
Wheeler, Pickwick. It was on Pickwick, and I had gotten on the 200 Bandit on these shallow gravel bars in the creek mouths, and was literally catching them at will and just running the pattern and nothing more than the pattern. Half the places I caught fish on, I didn't even practice on. It was really cool. It was a really cool introduction to that bait for me, and it became a mainstay. And so I have hundreds of them. That Bandit 200 was right up there with my Norman deep little ends, because the deep little end, to be honest with you, the deep little end and the DD22 put as much money in my boat as a Carolina rig. I mean, they're just, those crankbaits are just workhorses. And the deep little end is just real special to me, because that was the Norman brand is the first crankbaits that I was ever fishing, deep crankbaits. And then I went to added to my collection Bomber fat-free shads. And then as I became more proficient as a crankbait angler, I started looking at other crankbaits for specific situations. And so it really became the crankbaits. I have more crankbait boxes in my boat than anything, just because I love it so much. And it works for me. But there's a new Norman color too, I think. A deep little end color. I think, what is it? Strange?
I'm gonna do this at the risk of getting fired on day 4.
I don't think you can get fired, dude. I think you're the boss.
All right, there's the color.
I'm not even gonna put the coffee to my mouth until you say what you're gonna say, because then I gotta wipe all the coffee off my computer screen.
All right, I gotta do this right. There's the color.
It's called Strange.
All right.
It's got a nice splatter back. It's almost like a 3-dimensional pattern. If you think about it, don't you think you need 3D glasses to look at it?
All right. So that's that. This is a 1970 shag carpet. That is a 1970 shag carpet.
Wow.
There is that. There's the carpet. There's that.
I think that might have been that.
Now, if you just Google 1970 shag carpet, it literally is a palette of that.
That is fantastic, dude. I wonder if that was the muse for that color. That's fantastic.
Am I off my rocker on that, Frank?
No, I'm not gonna. Hey, dude, who am I to squelch creativity?
That color is groovy.
It's groovy. Is Jan Brady groovy? So yeah,
Oh, Jan Brady.
so yeah, and so here, listen, you guys got to start paying attention to lurenet.com, because in March there's going to be a bunch of custom color releases and exclusives, and there's going to be March Madness specials through the month of March. So pay attention, because honestly, I don't know what specials are coming when. I'm not even going down that rabbit hole. Just get on and pay attention to it, because it'll be good. There's going to be a lot of really good specials on there. So just pay attention to that.
All right. Before we get into today's show, which has been long awaited, it is a high quality show. It is jig skirts, tying jig skirts, creating jig skirts, how you store, keep them, making jig skirts on the fly. I do want to say we do have an announcement, and I kind of teased it on some shows. Well, it would have been shows this week. My freaking internet had worked. I teased it on one show this week. We've had some issues this week, Frank. Technology has been neither you nor I, friend.
That's right. Maybe my hacker got your email.
March 23rd, 24th, 25th, you will be at the Bassmaster Classic, as will I.
Yes.
And you came up with a pretty cool way to thank the BTL listeners. You don't have to buy, purchase, do anything. You just have to show up.
You have to show up
and shake Frank's hand. Am I on the verge of a stroke, Frank?
You're working on it, but we're good. We're good.
Just shake Frank's hand. Is that hard to say for you?
Shake Frank's hand.
Okay.
So what I have here, and
these will be yours if you are one of the first at the meet and greet, which there will be more details, possibly not on Frank's Instagram, but definitely on mine.
I'm gonna work on getting this thing back up to snuff today. But so what I have here is I have all the illustrations that you have seen on day 4. They're all signed by me.
Can you show a couple of them?
Yeah. I have some that are not from day 4. Like this one is not from day 4. And this one is not an original. This is my original, but it's not the actual pencil sketch. This was actually a 4-color piece I did for Bassmasters, which I think I actually have. I think I have it right here. But that was a 4-color piece that I did for Bassmasters. And if I could find it, look at I'm killing the show here.
No, you're not. It's your show. You can't kill your own show.
Oh, that's true.
Is that a tiger?
Yeah, I did stuff for my son's high school football team back in the day.
Can you show the tiger?
Yeah, I'm going to get it, man.
Holy cow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Here, I'll show you something else here now since we're doing show and tell.
Anyway, you're going to have 30 of these things at the Classic.
Yeah, here's the color one.
Oh, wow. That will not be at the Classic.
No, this was actually in Bassmaster magazine.
He is about ready to go ham on that beaver.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So, anyway, so I have... And then I have the black and white version of this one that was also in Bassmasters.
That will not be at the club. Oh, I do like that. That is a drop shot, though.
Yeah, I had to go finesse for you. And then here's another tiger that I did. See, this is how it starts. I do it black and white. And then
tiger looks like something awful's happening to the other half of it.
Yeah, and then I add the color to it.
Oh, wow.
And so I don't have the finished piece.
Do you have any pieces that you'll be giving away at the Classic
Yeah, so let's go.
That's how we started with this segment.
All right, let me get back on course here. I got off track, Matt, because I get excited.
No, we can do a whole show of just your drawings.
Okay, so at the Classic, the black and white copy of that will be there. The black and white copy of that one will be there. And then some of the original illustrations from the show that we actually all signed.
And then you can put them up on your wall in your man cave in the living room above the bed.
Yeah,
wherever you want to put these
right.
works of art.
So basically, every illustration that was on that was on the show is all signed, and they're all originals, except for the two bass I just showed you. They're all originals. Everything that we did on the show.
So you'll have that at the Classic, and you'll be giving them out to listeners and viewers who come up to meet you, just literally as a thank you for coming out to the Classic.
Yeah, and exactly. And I have some other crazy stuff. Like I was working on the Rogues, the new Rogue colors. So I make spray out cards.
But here's the deal, because at the oh, you're gonna give away some of those spray out cards too?
Yeah. See,
did you sign them?
Oh yeah, they're all signed.
Dude, that looks freaking cool. So here's the deal, just like we did before, just so we know there's people that aren't going to get this in line at the Classic and not know what the heck's going on. You got to say, Uncle Frank, I got to tell you, here's my favorite story. And you got to tell Uncle Frank your favorite story. And if you do, and you're one of the first 30 to tell Frank your favorite story, you get it. That way, if there's someone who's like, oh, look, there's people in line getting stuff, they don't know the wonder of day 4 with Frank. They don't end up with a
right.
And for the BTL listeners and viewers.
And a good way to also tell is if you're wearing a BTL day 4 stuff, or if you're wearing anything with BTL on them, then we'll know that you're loyal listeners, loyal watchers. Because what I don't want to do is, and you give it away to just people that get in line to get free stuff.
Yeah.
I want our fans.
Screw them.
Yeah, I want our fans there. So you guys, BTL hat, shirt, day 4 shirt,
stories,
hoodie, stories, whatever. Signs.
I mean, if you roll up and you've got an I love day 4 with Frank Scalish sign, you're probably getting something that's autographed.
Oh yeah, 100%. So
tattoos. If you get day 4 logo tattoos,
don't get a day 4 logo tattoo.
Lower back tattoo of the day 4 logo. I mean, there's some things you just know you're not going to regret in life, and that's one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you get loaded to the cork.
Just block letters. Your signature on the right cheek, loaded to the cork on the lower back.
Oh boy.
All right, today's show.
We better get moving.
I'm gonna wind it up, and I'm gonna sit back. We're 18 minutes in, and I am going to listen, learn, and enjoy, Frank. So the floor is yours.
I don't even know where to start. Okay, we're good. All right. So, making jig skirts, like I used to hand tie them all. On my fly tying vise. We talked about it in the last show. Gets cumbersome. You're carrying too many jigs around. You're carrying too much stuff around. So what I did today was I decided that I was going to actually show you how I make skirts, and we're not going to use any fancy tools. We're just going to do this, except I forgot my pliers.
Well, I got it. It'll take 2 seconds to go get it, won't it?
Yeah. Can you carry me for 2 seconds?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's fine.
Make fun of me at will. I'll be right back.
That's fine. So yes, Bassmaster Classic. I'll go ahead on those details. If you're there, you can direct message me without any links, please, on Instagram or email if you have any questions about when and where we will be. But it will be at the Sunline booth. And I think the Sunline booth is kind of in a conglomeration with like the Spro and the AFCO and Big Bite and Denali and all those brands. But somewhere right around there on the first day of the Classic, which would be the 24th, and then the 25th, which is the Saturday. So the 24th and the 25th at the Expo, we'll post times where there will be a meet and greet with Frank and myself. And then I'll also be at like the Pro Guide booth and a number of others. But those are going to be the two days and times that you can meet Frank in person, because he's taking the truck and driving down there. So I think I hear him coming back already. Perfect timing, Uncle Frank.
Okay.
You out of breath? You need me to stall for another 30 seconds?
I had to run down 3 flights of stairs, man, and run
That's
back
what I
up.
said. I just watched, I had never seen the movie Tommy Boy, which is based out of Sandusky, Ohio. So hopefully we will not recreate the wedding scene here.
That's outstanding. Woo. Okay.
Tickets to the Classic Expo are free. You just show up and walk into the Classic Expo. You do not need a ticket to attend the Bassmaster Classic or any of the events at the Bassmaster Classic.
Perfect. So I'm going to show you today how to make skirts and stuff with just a pair of scissors, needle nose pliers, painter's tape. Nothing fancy. So first, let me show you this. This is...
You really did run, didn't you?
Yeah, dude. I did. I did. And regretfully so. But you know what's crazy? I do 5.5 to 6 miles every day. Okay.
Jogging.
On a bike. Stationary bike. 20 minutes, because that's what actually the military is 6 miles in 20 minutes. So I try to do that and then work out, and running up and down the steps is brutal. Don't ask me why. So anyway, so what I have here is I have all my JIG skirt tabs in a box.
Mm-hmm.
The tabs are labeled on top of the box. Okay. And then if you notice when you pick this up, I have little skirt formulas that I have written down that you can't see because for whatever reason. Anyway, there's a formula on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my formula that you can't read for whatever the reason, and I'm going to build you a skirt and show you how to build it and explain to you how I'm layering these, because here's what happens, okay? A skirt tool is a hollow pen type thing, and you put the skirt material in, you have your mouse ears or your skirt ring on the tube, you put the stuff in, you roll it off the tube, voila, you have a skirt. And you can layer in that. But you can't get a middle to it. You follow me? Well, you will in a minute. So here's what I'm going to do. So on my formulas of the skirts that I write down, I put how much skirt material of what color, how I lay it on top of each other in order, and then I roll it. And I'll show you how to do that right now. I roll it up. So whatever color is in the middle is going to be on the outside of your JIG skirt.
I bet you were fun at college parties.
I was good at college parties. Okay, so here I have my trusty, and this is going to be really tough for me because
you're going to do it basically backwards so everyone can see.
Right. I'm doing this thing upside down and backwards.
I like it. Looks good so far.
Okay, so it says I take 1 1/4 tabs of bluegrass. And it's very important for me to get this laid out right. So there's 1 tab. So now I need 1/4 of a tab. Usually
so explain what a tab is. This is literally for beginners, Frank, because there's a bunch of us that want to know how to do this, and we hear all these phrases.
Okay, so a tab is, and I believe in this skirt material, is 21 strands of skirt material.
And you buy a tab at Jan's Netcraft,
right?
Anywhere.
Anywhere. You can get them anywhere. You just have to go online and look. So usually I count them out in 1/4, but I'm going to guess this one.
Oh, you actually count them out?
Yeah, I'm anal. So I'm just going to guess on this one.
Okay.
And so I got my 1/4 tab. Now, what I'm going to do with this, because if this is a modeled skirt, it's got robin egg blue, watermelon, and green pumpkin on it. So so does the first tab that I laid down on my board. So now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put it exactly how it is. I'm going to offset it some, because of what I want to happen is I want that the robin egg blue. You can see how it's offset now.
Yep.
Okay. So then it says take 3/4 of a strand of green pumpkin with purple flake, which is that.
You're literally following a recipe.
Yeah, I made it. And so then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take 1/4 of that off, and I'm going to lay it down on top of this, like so, nice and flat. Now it says take 6 strands of magic craw.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's just green pumpkin barred robin egg blue. This is one of my favorite skirts. And now I'm laying that down right in the center, because remember I said, whatever you roll on the inside is going to become the outside.
Okay.
So now I center my tabs. So now we take the painter's tape, and all I'm going to do is just tear a piece of it.
About a 1/4 inch?
About an inch.
Okay.
Like that. So now this is going to be tricky for me doing this backwards.
You need to turn it around, or if you can do it backwards, have at it.
I'm going to.
You have to try again. You try again. It doesn't matter.
Let me do this so I can see what I'm picking up here. Oh, that's better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm rolling it up as tight as I can. I'm rolling it up so I have it. You see how the end is rolled?
Yep.
Now I take the tape, and the same way I rolled it, I'm going to twist the tape on here, and I'm going to make the tape so it's like a nice, got a nice spear point to it. See that?
Yep.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my mouse ear out, my mouse ear tab. Oh,
that's your collar for the
my
jig.
Collar, right? And I like the mouse ears because I want the option of rattles or not. So here it is. Let me just hold it up with the needle nose so you guys can see it a little clearer.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So now what I'm going to do is
literally looks like Mickey Mouse.
Looks like Mickey Mouse. So now what I do is, because I don't have the skirt making tool, but I do have the needle nose. So I take the needle nose and I put it on the tip of the end of the needles. Now I like the curved needle nose pliers for this better than straight, but it'll work with straight. Uh-oh. My skirt, I didn't get it good. My skirt unraveled on me.
Hate when that happens.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's a bummer.
We need to do it again.
Let me just rebuild this real quick.
All right.
It's easier for me to do it on a flat table.
You're just rolling one end of it.
Right, just the one end. So what I'm doing is I'm staggering. I stagger my skirt material, lay that down.
It looked perfect when you had it before.
It was, but it
oh, you let go of it, and then
I didn't get the one end in when I taped it.
I
lost one of my strands. But now I got it, because now.
And this is how to do it. You don't have to buy anything. Everyone has what they need for this right here.
Everything. Yeah, you have tape, you have needle nose pliers. The only thing you have to buy is the skirt material and the collars.
How much is the skirt material?
It's not very expensive. It was I don't remember what it was. I buy it in bulk, so I don't quite remember. Okay, so now what I have is I have my nose cone, collar. Now I like to put the collar, the flat side of the collar. If you see, I like the flat side to be the side that goes up against the jig head.
Okay.
So now I'm going to open up my needle nose pliers, and I'm going to get that point through there, pull it up, get about halfway down the skirt. That's about right. Undo the collar, take the pliers out. Now watch this, because I taped it, but it's painter's tape. So all I have to do is grab the point of it, pull it off. We're good to go. Now I have the skirt. So I take the ends. I'm going to take the ends here, and let me put a piece of paper on my computer pad so I don't get all these little things in my keyboard. Trim the ends, and then do it again. Trim the ends on the other side. And now I have one of my favorite skirts ever.
Very nice.
And that's it. And so then I just store them. I put them in little tiny snack Ziploc bags, just like this, straight, just, straight.
So they're always straight.
They're always straight. I knock the air out of it, and I roll it up, and I put it in my jig box.
But then you can make one of those in 10 seconds or 20 seconds when you're dialed in.
Oh yeah, I can do them. It's harder for me to do it upside down.
Yeah, I could imagine
watching the computer. So this is how you and remember, whatever you put in the center is going to be on the outside. Remember, I put the Magic Craw in the center. So now see how they're on the outside?
Yep.
Of the jig?
Yep.
Of the skirt, I mean. And that's how you make the skirt. And this way you can control what colors come on the outside. Another skirt that I make a lot of is my black, blue, and purple. And I do I do the same thing. I roll it up, and then I have it, whatever's on the inside is on the outside, and so on. Now with that, sometimes I'll put more black on the back, and so I definitely have a back and a belly to this skirt. And definitely have a back and a belly to it on that particular one. But I like I said, I have about, I don't know, 8 or 9 skirt colors that I use pretty much religiously. And then here's, if you want to see the bag storage, let's go with this one since I already made it.
Okay. So the little short sandwich baggies.
Yeah, the little tiny snack bags.
Okay.
And then you just roll it up. So this is, you see, I'm down to like 3 or 4 skirts in this bag. That's why I chose to make this one on the show. And then now I got 5 in here. And then I just roll it up, and see, I label them all too, so you know, because when you roll them up, you can't really see what they are. So I label them, and then they go in the jig box. And that's it. I mean, that's the easiest way to make them, and it's fast. And here, the more you do of them, it's fast. So if I know I'm gonna make multiple jig skirts, I don't build one at a time. So I'll lay the materials out. You remember how I showed you earlier how we stack them all?
Yep.
So I stack them all, and I have them lined up on the table. And then I roll them, and I put the tape on it, roll it, put the tape on it, until I get them all done, and then put the collars on them all.
All right. If you're going to do this, because now I feel like I can tie jig skirts, give me 5 colors that I can tie a bunch of different jigs. Jed, I know that what you're going to say, but if I've never bought them before or anything and I'm getting it, what are the 5 colors that I'm going to make sure I have in those tabs?
Okay. So first of all, what you're going to want is you're going to want blacks and blues and purples. You're going to want green pumpkins. And when I say green pumpkins, you're going to want green pumpkin blue, green pumpkin purple, straight green pumpkin. And then you're going to want Magic Craw, a bluegrass type of skirt that's got 3 different colors mixed, like for example, it's robin egg blue, green pumpkin, and watermelon in one skirt. Okay. These are the tabs that I buy. In fact, all of my tabs I can just show you right here. So you can see it's green pumpkin purple, green pumpkin blue, molting craw, which is magic craw, bluegrass, which is the one we just used, green pumpkin purple, and a Dalmatian versus Dalmatians have spots, barbed wire has bars. And then I have another magic craw down here. I have Potomac blue, which is basically it's a, here, I'll just show you what the hell it is because I can't describe it. Watch, I don't have it. I'm out of it.
Those are all such neatly organized.
So here's green pumpkin. Here's Potomac blue. It's like a dirty watermelon with light blue flake in it. All right. But this is how the tabs come. So how they come like that in a box, in a bag.
So how much does it cost to build a badass box of the tabs with all the colors that you need? Less than $100?
It's way less than 100. And I can tell you this, if you buy, like, there's a lot there. I think there's 8 or 10 tabs in a pack. Okay. What you spend on the skirts, the collars, and all these colors, it would be 4 times the amount of money to buy pre-made jig skirts.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
and it'd be 8 times the amount of money to buy the dang jig.
Correct. So the reality of it is that you, like, the amount of jig skirts that I make out of this box that you just saw would cost me hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
All right. So Bo Stevens brings up a great point. If you're only gonna have 5 colors,
correct.
You're gonna have, let's see if I could do this. You're gonna have green pumpkin.
Go ahead.
You're gonna have a black blue. Like, you're only 5, right? So you're not mixing them, but they make a black and blue tab, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you'll have a black and blue. You're gonna have, to me, it seems like some sort of watermelon blue or green pumpkin blue.
Right. I have one, we'll just say black jig, which is, black, blue, and another color maybe. And all the rest are forms of green pumpkin, watermelon mix.
And then it sounds like some sort of purple,
blue, green pumpkin, watermelon.
And you can build a lot of jigs from those 5 or 6 colors.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's endless. It's endless.
What about just a straight purple, or like an Ozark craw that just has 2 strands of chartreuse in it or anything? Like, would you recommend just getting a couple packs of just random bold colors for varying watercolors?
100%. So here's my black box. That's all that's in it.
Okay, so that's like the blue, the dark blue, and the
right. I have several shades of blue, several shades of purple, and black.
Let me ask you this while you're here. Show that blue again. I've never understood this. A lot of the pros, like big time pros, Frank. See that bottom one right there? That bottom blue? Yeah. A lot of the guys, we're talking the Denny's and stuff like that. I mean, the best that have ever done it. Huge fan of that brilliant, bright blue color. Brilliant, bright blue color.
Yeah, it's
when flipping. I mean, and a lot of the best flippers that I know will go blue chunk, blue jig. in certain situations. What is the deal with that blue? Because I've never understood it.
Well, if you see it in the water, it's really bizarre because different water conditions make that blue look different.
Am I wrong on that?
No, you're not wrong at all.
I mean, dude, the best guys, and they don't really talk about it. It's the sapphire blue, right, JP?
Right.
They don't talk about it a lot, but dude, a blue on blue with these super chunk or something like that on the back, like the best guys who you know are going to go out and string them on 25 pound and boat flip them on that jig. That's the color blue they use.
Yeah, that sapphire blue looks really crazy in the water. In off color water, it mimics a shad so good. And same thing, yeah, same thing in clear water. And then you get in dirty water when you put the black. If you put any black in there or you have any contrast in there, it looks like a crayfish. I mean, it's the craziest color ever. Now, when I mix that blue in my jigs, I'm sparse with it. I don't put a lot on it. I'll put 6 or 7 strands on the belly of it because when the jig pumps up, I want the different color flash. You know, when I lift the jig up over a branch, I want that different color flash.
Sorry, Donnie.
I'm trying to read that. Curse you fishing.
Curse you fishing gods at my color blindness.
Donnie, I'm sorry, dude, but
well,
you know,
hey.
I had a buddy of mine that was colorblind, and I helped him go through his tackle and explain to him. I labeled his box what the colors were. Not just the namesake on the colors, but what they were. So, you know, for like chartreuse and blue, I put chartreuse and blue. For fire tiger, I put black back, lime shoulders, chartreuse sides, orange belly, black marbling. So he could read it and go, oh yeah, okay.
You know, when Juice came over, you guys had all this big in-depth freaking lure building discussions during while we fried crappie. Dude's freaking so colorblind, it's not even funny. All he does is his favorite thing to talk about is colors of jigs. Dude's colorblind.
And he can't, and everything to him looks
completely colorblind. Doesn't even mention that. He just dives off the deep end into minute color different spectrums in crappie jigs. Has no clue what they look like.
So what can he see? He can't see blues and greens?
No, he's like, he's got to have help get like dressed in the morning. So he doesn't look like Where's Waldo.
Thank God he's not an electrician.
Yeah. I don't know. We kind of
red
got
wire,
off tracks
white
there.
wire.
All right. So we know how to tie the jig skirts. You need the needle nose, preferably if they bend up a little bit. You need the collars. Where do you get those collars?
You could get them at any jig making or lure making place, Barlow's, Net Crafts.
They're cheap too. You get what, a couple hundred of them for $10 or whatever.
They're very inexpensive. I'm just telling you right now, you could literally build so many of your own skirts that you don't have to buy a skirt.
How long will it take me to get good to where it looks like a skirt that I bought? Because I feel like when I've tried to piece them together, they look like they just don't look good.
It take you about 3 or 4 skirts.
Okay.
Once you get the hang of rolling it up, once you get the hang of layering it, and understanding that if you roll your skirt like I roll mine, whatever's in the middle of the tube is going to be on the outside of the skirt. If I want to layer it, like if I have a belly color, I build the skirt first and then add my belly strands last.
So you'll figure it out pretty quick.
It's easy. It's super easy. The thing about it is just understanding this. Like I've made some really crazy skirts colors that I thought were going to be dynamite and never catch a fish on them. And so what I do is I don't make 20 of a skirt color until I fish it. So I'll make, 2 or 3 skirts and then I'll go fish them. Mm-hmm. And if I start to have success with them, then I'll make them. And so the skirts that I make for myself to fish with, I've gone through a process of elimination and a process of research and development. So where I got onto something that was working as I went along, I started tweaking it, adding, subtracting, until it became a money skirt.
I got you.
Then I write that formula down, and that's the skirt. Because in the beginning, I used to make so many skirts because I'm like, oh, this looks good. Let me make 30 of them. And then I make 30 of them and I can't catch fish on them. And I'm like, well, now I just screwed all the material up for 30 skirts and I got to throw it out because I don't like the performance of it. So this is, it's a lot of fun too, because what I found, like I have skirts that I necessarily don't carry with me for certain lakes, like literally, like I have 2 skirt colors that are just called Norman, whatever the color I made up, Norman this and Norman that, where when I go to Lake Norman, that's what I'm throwing. Now the skirts that I just made here work everywhere I've been. The skirt I just showed you works everywhere I've been. So that's my A+++ skirt. That's in the boat all the time. I have 5 or 6 skirts like that are in the boat all the time.
Okay.
You know, it's like this. One time I was on Smith Lake in Alabama, way back. I'm talking 25, 30 years ago. And Zoom came out with pumpkin seed. Just the pumpkin seed color. Okay.
That's how you know you've been around a minute.
Right. So it was just pumpkin seed. Well, they had tweaked the pumpkin seed and they added a chartreuse belly to it.
Oh, chartreuse pumpkin?
Yes. And if you weren't throwing that on that lake at that given time, you were not catching them. It was ludicrous. And so that's when I started realizing that certain lakes will have an affinity to a certain color skew. Same thing happened when they came out with, oh, that color's going to kill me now. It's almost like, it's like a pinkish. It's got all kinds of metallic in it.
Zoom?
Yeah.
Pinkish.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was so popular.
Do they still make it even?
Yeah, they still make it. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank.
Roadkill?
No. It's a very common
watermelon name. Red?
No. Anyhow, at any rate, so that particular bait worked on another lake.
Cotton candy.
Thank
you, JP.
JP, you the man. So yeah, so cotton candy. So I go out and I buy.
Oh yeah, cotton candy lizard when it first came out was everybody had a cotton candy lizard.
Right. The same thing with kudzu. When kudzu came out, everybody had kudzu. So what I do, then I go out and buy 100 of them, and then they only work on one stinking lake, where it's not a real transferable color, and then it works in only one condition. So I stopped buying bulk craziness and started gearing my color palette down to colors that I know work everywhere. And then if I go to a lake and there's some oddball color, I might have a couple bags of that. You know what I mean? So I don't get caught behind the 8 ball on a different lake, because if someone goes, oh, they're eating cotton candy, then I go get cotton, then I got it. I got this a couple
one
bags.
You can't talk about that without showing that. That's the gold standard.
Yes.
Of lizard colors. Would you not agree?
I would 100% agree.
Pumpkin chartreuse tail right there.
Yeah, you could, back in the day, you couldn't beat that on a bet. And
you still can't beat it.
Right. People got away from it because there's new sexy colors out there. So they got to have the new sexy colors. But my lizard repertoire is easy as pie.
That right there, the Yum Lizard, Carolina Pumpkin, chartreuse tail, $3.29 a bag. Hard to beat.
You can't beat it. You can't beat the price point.
Anyway.
But, right. So you know, your lizards are simple. I got green pumpkin, pumpkin seed, watermelon, June bug.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is that? You know what I mean? It's not hard. And then I'll dye the tail chartreuse or I'll dye the tail orange, depending on what the fish are telling me. It's pretty easy. Jig skirts are the same way, except that I like to do real natural looking jig skirts.
Yep. But okay, so the jig heads then. So we've done the jig skirts. Let's just briefly recap on that. You like the jewel jig head.
Jewel football jig.
Jewel football jig.
The jewel football jig. Booyah makes a great grass jig.
Okay, so just the football is where you go with that. Otherwise, you're going Booyah.
Yeah, and then here's the crazy thing too. I when I'm fishing in the grass, I try to match my jig skirt to the grass and the bottom color of the lake, what the water looks like, not necessarily the bottom, but the water. So I look at the grass, I look at what the water looks like. If it looks green, I stay more watermelons. If it looks greenish brown, I stay more green pumpkins. And here's the crazy thing. I've caught as many fish on black and blue in gin clear water as I have on all my fancy watermelon and green pumpkin blue skirts. For whatever the reason, especially up north, we have a strain of crawdad that's black and blue. When I go down south, I might translate some reds in there, a few strands of reds in my black jigs.
But if you also have another football head or whatever that you want to, that's the beauty of it. You can put that skirt on anything. If you wanted to throw it in deep clear water on a finesse jig, you can. If you want to beef it up and throw it on 60-pound braid with a meat hook, you can. You can do whatever the hell you want with it.
Right. So, which is why I store all my jigs with no skirts on them.
Yep.
Because I let the water dictate to me what color I want on it.
Yep.
And so, like I said, some of the store-bought skirts are fantastic. I know War Eagle's got some fabulous colors. There's a War Eagle jig skirt that I'm in love with. It's called Dirty Junebug. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous color. Look at the see if they got it. They might be out of stock, but it's it's the Jujitsu jig on War Eagle. I just want to show the color of the skirt. It's called Dirty Junebug. I'm actually trying to find the materials to make that skirt. That's another skirt. That skirt is wrong on a lot of levels. That's a great color.
Hold on.
I know, Matt, you are the magician behind the computer.
Well, I just don't know how to spell jujitsu. I'd be there, so I have to go through all the pages of War Eagle to get to the jujitsu. That's honestly what's going on.
That's okay. I got a coffee spill here. Where's
you want me to lie or not? I'm in the heavy finesse right here. If someone in the instant feedback knows how to spell jujitsu,
jujitsu, J-U-I
J-I-U.
J-I-U. I can't spell it either. That shows.
There it is. Jujitsu.
Look at Dirty Junebug. I love that color beyond belief.
All right, I'm getting there.
That color there translates super well.
That's natural.
But see what I mean? They got a lot of good skirt colors in that jig.
Yeah. What do you call it?
Dirty Junebug.
Dirty. Oh, wow.
Look at that. Pull that up. That's sexy.
Wow.
Yeah. Whoever did that skirt, my hat's off to you, because I wish I would have thought of that. It's gorgeous. That skirt there. And here the green pumpkin blue in that skirt or green pumpkin green is sick. It's sick.
Ronnie said he used to date a girl named Dirty Junebug.
Hey, this isn't the day 4 night show, man. This isn't night 4. We got to clean it up for the younger audience out there. But yeah, I'm sure that was a lot of fun for you. But isn't that a nice color? That color
is unbelievable.
That color looks so much better in person. I can't even tell you how good that looks in real life. That is one of my all times right there.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to end the show on a little bit of a highlight, a little good note here?
Yeah, can we? Because I don't have Instagram anymore.
Yeah, well, I do. So I got a email. I probably should answer him. Anyway, we'll return to my buddy Juice, who was perusing, and God knows why, Etsy for custom painted crankbaits. Don't ask me why.
Okay.
But he found himself on B-Dub's Baits page. He's out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma. He starts chatting with this guy because, as you are well aware, Juice is a talker.
He is a talker.
And this guy's like, yeah, he goes, I've been painting for a little bit less than a year, and he's been selling a bunch of stuff on here. He's got 5 stars, over almost 70 sales.
Good
and
for him.
he
Good
said,
job,
yeah, I think he's in his 40s or 50s. But he said, yeah, he didn't know anything. He told Jarrett, my buddy, he's like, yeah, I've been listening to this show with Frank Scalish, and he kind of went through this painting stuff. It's online, and it piqued my interest. And I had a lot of the stuff, and I bought some of the other stuff, and it got me into it. And I started painting baits because of this show. He's like, and now it's like a hobby, and now I've kind of turned it into a little side business.
Perfect. That's fantastic. I actually have some painting videos out on LureNet YouTube, and it shows you little tricks. It shows you some tricks for advanced, some tricks for beginners. And we're going to do some more of those. So yeah, you'll want to check them out if you're interested in the painting aspect of it. They're pretty sweet. They're easy. I haven't done a full bait from start to finish yet. But I may.
There it is right there.
There you go. Good job.
See? Look at him painting on the.
Good job out of you. Painting on the wart.
Yeah. There's all the medium divers.
You could tell where he's from by the baits he's painting.
There's the square bills.
I don't see a fat boy in there, bud.
Oh, he's got some pogo shads up there.
God, that's an oldie but moldy.
And there you go.
Good for you. That's good to hear.
Matt, can you ask Frank if we're getting a show about bite windows?
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing that on my once Instagram page. Yeah, we could do something on a bite window. It's not complicated. And I don't think we can get a whole show out of it at all. It's that simple.
Okay.
So we could.
Next week, I will be at the Bassmaster Open.
You better catch them, man. I'm counting.
So we will have a recorded show next Thursday. Great show, though. It's going to be about building the perfect spinnerbait box.
Yeah, I'm actually going to show you. I pulled the one out of my boat. And I pulled you. I'm still getting emails about my Instagram hack here.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Oh boy. So so what I did was I pulled out my actual spinnerbait box. I went to the store and bought the exact same box before I altered it. So I can show you the alteration to the box and show you exactly how I store them. And it's when you see how small it is, and then you realize how many baits I actually have in that box, you guys are gonna freak out, because I have more spinner baits in that box than I could possibly use in a year, in a lifetime.
Very educational show, Uncle Frank. I learned a lot. I am motivated to now. You know what? I think I could dedicate $100 to it, between heads and the boxes for the skirts, and then the little Ziplocs, and then the skirts that I've already that I make, and the collars. It makes 100 cents, because that's 15 jigs, and I'm getting 100 jigs, and especially I'm traveling the country going to all these opens. I need to be able to build jigs on the go. It's super easy. I now know how to do that thanks to you.
Yeah, and this is the stuff I carried around with me when I fish Bassmasters, because I built them in my hotel room at night. You know what I mean? It's very flexible system, and you'll be really pleased with it, because if you spend $100, you're probably getting $300-400 worth of lures.
No, it's good stuff. Hey, before we go, one more thing. I am looking into getting some Bitcoin, and I see that you've gotten really heavily into that on your Instagram lately, Frank. Any specific Bitcoin that you would recommend to our listeners before we go, since that you are now a crypto expert?
I am a crypto magician.
Once again, don't click on any link or anything that Frank Scalish may or may not send you on Instagram. That was a joke. So
yeah, please
he got hacked.
I got hacked, and I would love to find that.
Yep. You got hacked, but then you gave some good jig hacks today.
That's right.
How's that?
I traded a hack for a hack.
There it is. All right. This has been another edition of Day 4 with Frank Scalish, episode number 104. We will see everybody next week. Later.